freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. Over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my own grave and go home to my Lord and be free.
What is it that we see in the supposed land of the free, home of the brave? It's the murder of the supposed free Negro in the land of the slave. There's been no changes. Just racist spaces and power-driven places with badges that are nothing more than a license to kill at will. The dogs and fire hose waters have become bullets and chokeholds. The unsolved mystery of history repeating itself holds a solution within itself. We're still viewed as being inferior. Hands in the air but still seen as being non-compliant because to the boys in blue, the men in black skin must be violent. Next thing you know, we're staring eye to eye with the God complex mechanism. As we read our rights, rights specifically meant for 50 shades of brown as the one shade of white never puts the steel courage down. You had the right to remain silent. Meaning, nigga, utter one word I don't like and I'll end your life. You had the right to an attorney. Meaning, nigga, get any lawyer you can afford, but I'll be acquitted no matter what I do because the powers that be look just like me. You have the right to stop answering any questions I ask at any time, but if you do, I'll say you're resisting, and you'll definitely stop existing because I'll take your life, nigga. So now we live in fear of something as simple as a traffic stop. Fearing the unknown, if this could be another racist cop or maybe just another one on a power trip and ready to kill. Afraid to remove hands from the steering wheel. Afraid to exit the vehicle because it could easily be the last time, and if this time isn't the last time, maybe it will be the next time or the time after that when I'm executed for being black. New Age slavery. For the black man, there could be no level of bravery for it's viewed as aggression. And the next thing you know, he's being taught a lesson that's subliminally written in every history book. The worst crime in history committed by a black man was waking up a nigga, and the worst crime committed by a nigga was waking up black. I guess Martin Luther King's dream didn't mean a thing to those who control the power. We may drink from the same fountain today, but we damn sure don't eat at the same table. So many view what our ancestors had to go through as some unfathomable fable. We are encouraged to forget the tears and lives of the slave, but remember the historic murders of the soldiers sent to foreign lands. But more of us were killed here than there, so that's something they don't seem to understand. Yet here we are years later, still fighting to be considered equal. Hell, even be considered human. There are laws against killing a dog that are far more protective than the laws against killing a man, depending on the skin. You understand? Considered dangerous when we're civil and terrorists when we react. Prosecuted without due process just for being black. Yet so many seem not to have an understanding about depression, but when you spent your entire life under the weight of oppression, your steps become harder and harder. Days become dark and darker. And the hope of one day we will be free becomes farther and farther away from the truth as we plead for our lives with our hands up, but they still shoot. We as a people are separated by our differences, but segregation comes through the degradation applied to our people in this nation. A land our people built, fought for, and died for, but controlled by those who consistently tell lies for. For the song lied. This land is your land. This land is my land. This land was made for you and me. And in the same land, years ago, any given Negro became a once living ornament hanging from a tree. They're no longer lynching us today. They're killing us in cold blood in the middle of the street. Mother's tears soak her pillow for she can't sleep. Her baby has just been murdered. Can't call the police on the police in fear that they'll also hurt her. Her father filled with rage as his son lost his life over openly carrying Skittles and lemonade. A young lady asleep in her own bed with protection beside her is filled with bullets even though she never pulled it. A young man murdered in his own home just for being home. A young man murdered in the front seat for being instructed to reach. A young man strangled to his last breath for selling loose cigarettes. A young man suffocated by a knee in his neck as he pleads to breathe and as he draws closer to death. All he can utter is, "Mama, please." Of this truth, can you give me a reason why? Until then, we'll continue to cry out loud.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom. Freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. Over me. And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my own grave and go home to my Lord and be free.